Hi, welcome to Remember This. I'm your host, Denise Boland, and I am pleased to bring to you our second Faith, Hope, and Love Women's Roundtable with my lovely co-host, writer, actress, director, and producer, Deborah Twiss. And also returning to the table is author and speaker, Regina Stafford, celebrity chef from Margie's Kitchen, Margarita Colon, author, Rachel Hamm, and our special guest joining us will be writer, actress, director and producer, Michele Frantzeskos. This is a real straight from the heart discussion, and I hope you are blessed by what these beautiful, inspiring women have to share.
Hello. Okay.
Hi, Michele. Welcome.
Hello. How are you, lady?
Great to see you. You know Deborah.
Hi.
Yes.
We have
Hello.
Regina
How are
Stafford.
you?
Hi.
We have Regina Stafford as the
Hello.
blonde.
Pleasure to meet you.
And the former
Yes.
blonde, who's now brunette, is Rachel Hamm.
Hi. Nice to meet you. And what was your name?
Nice to meet Michele.
Michele. Nice to meet you, Michele.
Yes.
Michele, I don't want
Nice
to kill
meet
your
you,
last
Rachel.
name when I introduce you. Frantzeskos.
Frantzeskos.
Hey, I wasn't bad. That was pretty good.
Excellent. No, you're excellent.
Rachel, I told Deb she reminds me of Caleb because she's in the car.
Yeah. Hopefully she talks more than Caleb did because he was so quiet.
Oh my God, I got so many comments. People were rude. We had a roundtable yesterday, and Caleb T. Johnson, he's a singer, and he would co-host some of my shows when we did him in the studio. So I would bring him into the roundtable. He just sits there. He sits in his car, and he just sits there. He doesn't really have anything to say, but people were rude. They were like, you know, those people were so rude. They didn't let him talk. They didn't introduce him. I'm like, you know, people are like really mean when they put comments under your videos, you know?
You know what, Denise? I think it's in the air right now. I have gotten so much hate today. I like almost was going to tell you I can't even do this tonight. I'm so
really
heavy from the hate that
should we not be reading the comments, or should we just turn the comments off maybe?
Yeah, and also for me, it's emails because on my website, I have an ability for people to email me. So I'm thinking about taking my contact off so people can't, because I'm receiving all these emails. A lot of them are really positive, but for whatever reason, that roundtable we did, I've gotten a bunch of crap from it. Yeah. And people are just, I don't know, like today I put something on Instagram about all these pedophiles that had been caught and things that had happened to them and how great that was. I got hate from that. I'm like, how can you find something
catching?
You know?
That's a good
for catching a pedophile. You're gonna find hate in that.
I mean, they're
terrible.
Children.
Don't even listen.
Yeah, but I think clearly people will find something hateful if that's just who they are. I don't know. I actually wanted to talk about it tonight. I was going to talk about you guys like hate from people and dealing with.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's what's great about the roundtable, because you know our roundtables we zigzag and we'll start talking about this, and then we go to this, and then this, and then this, and sometimes we end up coming back to the first topic. But it all kinds of it works out because, you know, we all have a lot of stuff on our mind, you know, and we don't always have time or someone to talk to about it. So to me, this is great. And for the viewers that are listening, you know, who knows what they're dealing with.
This is a great thing that you're doing, Denise, and I appreciate you having me aboard. And
I'm so glad.
Such a lovely, what an amazing interview you guys did the other day, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, right?
That was powerful, right?
It was powerful. It was inspiring. It was cuts right to the core. I felt for each one of your stories. I was so compelled by it. I was teared up. And just for you guys to all get out there and share your stories and to share your truth and just to show that how much you have all healed in each of your ways. It's just an amazing thing that we could all come together and really converse and say what we have shared in our lives, because everybody's makeup is different. We've all had experiences, and it's what we do with it now and how we want to move forward with it. And you've all done such a wonderful, amazing job. Amazing job, ladies. I'm so blessed to be a part of tonight. No, thank you for having this, and appreciate that. And don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to them, Rachel, seriously. Because what you're doing is an amazing thing. So don't let anybody hate on you for that. You're getting out there and you're helping to spread awareness, and you're such a positive seeking person. So don't let anybody rain on your parade ever. Just throw that out there. That's for them to feel, not for you.
Yeah.
So it was lovely to hear about, oh, you're welcome. It was lovely to hear about how you felt about your marriage and how you felt strongly what you've done inside of your home and how you've gotten past whatever you've gone through in your life. And for you to move forward and to be in such a positive light, it gives inspiration to all of us to say, hey, we can be that way. And we have overcome so many adversities. It's an admiration, it's respect, and it's you that you want to continue to move forward. And I love the fact that you want to share and lift up men as well, because it's such a poignant point, because it's not only about us, it's about everyone. Everyone matters, men and women. And we want to teach our children to respect everyone. You know, and I know, Deborah, you were saying that as well. It's such a perfect point. Everybody has to get along. Everybody has to respect one another. And there's enough room, like Margie was saying, and Regina, that there's enough room out there for everyone to get out there and be who you want to be. Just because you've had battle scars from your past doesn't mean that it defines who you are in this future. It's what you do with it from here on out, and what you teach, you know, others and your peers and your family and your children. It's what you make of it, and it's what your legacy that you want to leave behind. So it's all about that, I feel, you know. So I appreciate your stories, and it's very compelling, and it hits to the heart, and I understand what your pain is, and you can see what inspirations you are to everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you. And Michele, you made a movie, is it Right to Live?
The Right to Live.
Right to Live,
yes.
Yeah. Can you tell us about that? It's an amazing,
sure.
About domestic violence, right?
It's about domestic violence, and it's also about sexual abuse, verbal, mental, drug, alcohol abuse. And it's about really showing you how it originated from when you were younger on, and seeing the family origins and where you were in your life, and showing you where the abuse originates. So what we did is I wrote a story with my friend Nancy, and we show how the abuse originates in the household and how it leaves so many cycles to keep continuing. And when you get into a group counseling session, you speak about what has happened to you in a flashback, and it made you feel like you were witnessing the abuse all over again. And it teaches you a positive message that you can overcome it. And just know that there's like 4 steps to the road to recovery. Abuse is not your fault. Talk about it. Take your power back so you can live again. Because everybody has the right to live a healthy, loving, productive lifestyle. Because you can do anything you want. Just because you've been abused in whatever capacity doesn't define who you are. It's what you do with it afterwards. Never let somebody take your power away from you and saying that you're not enough, your self-worth, you're nothing, you need them. It's about them taking their power and keeping you under their thumb. The minute that you heal, like you had said in your previous, roundtable, if once you're healing and you let go of that, you can live, a healthy lifestyle. It's an award-winning film, and Bellevue Hospital has sponsored it. So we use that in their teaching in their hospital and showed that to their group counseling session. So I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Denise.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was released on Amazon on International Women's Day 2 years ago.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome.
So thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yes, I'll send you a private link. I'm in process now of having it redistributed to another platform, because it did well on Amazon Prime, but I want to really get like Lifetime or Netflix or something of that nature. I want a broader, audience for it, because it really needs to have set the tone for nationwide, because especially with what's going on in the world now, so many people are going through such domestic violence situations. And even like verbal abuse, because during COVID time, everybody's left to stay indoors, and then you feel like the walls are like closing in. So what is left of you? And then people are just, going through certain situations because of financial issues. And, it's what you make of it. And to me, during this pandemic, I feel that it's important to know what you have deep inside your soul, know what you have in your home. And as long as you have your health and your happiness, that's everything. The financial, you'll get that back, But as long as you have, your loved ones, you have yourself, you can get out there and do anything. You can reinvent your life. You don't have to go back to what your life was. So everybody has picked up so many different, new little things to do, and pick up things that, oh, I'm decent at this. I like this. I might want to do that. So they're exploring all different options. So, I wrote another script during COVID, so why not?
Yeah, see that's great.
Thank you.
It's so important to have the verbal abuse covered, because that's the one that you don't see any bruises from.
That's
They're
right.
all internal bruises.
I completely agree.
They think, well, I didn't get beat up, so, and they discount it, but yet you really do get brutally beat up from the
You do, because that's where it really starts from. And if you don't break that cycle of madness, then it's only going to continue within your children or your peers, because it could happen in a schoolyard, it could happen at work, it could happen in your family life, it could happen even while you're driving a car and there's rage inside of you. It's because somebody has bullied you in some facet or taken your power, and you feel like you have to get it out somewhere. So you're pushing that out into the world and placing that anger on somebody else. And that's, the hardest thing to know, where, hey, and you identify, I'm abusing somebody else. You might not mean to do that, but it's what you do with it. Like in my film, we had victims and we had the abuser who went to counseling, because, you can overcome that. Just because you were the abuser doesn't mean that you have to continue doing that. You can overcome that and say, hey, I took the steps to the road to recovery. I'm okay now. I don't have to be that person anymore. You get a new lease on life. Why not?
Yeah.
And you can help others that are going.
Absolutely.
They can't find their way out.
No, and it's like you ladies said, it's extremely important to go through counseling, because it's something that helps everyone, because nobody should ever feel ashamed that they're in counseling. It's getting it all out off your chest. It's so crucial. You don't have to hide behind, the doors. You don't know what's going on in somebody's home. Everybody has been through something that they just don't want to talk about. But the hardest part is to talk about it and to say, hey, I have been there. I've been through that. Let's get through this together. Let's have hope. Let's have faith and courage, like all you ladies have.
Part of the healing process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I commend you all, ladies.
Aww.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for championing for it.
Yes.
Oh, no, thank you. We're all doing it together. It's important that we all uplift each other. And I know Deborah and Denise, I've worked with them on films, and they're tremendous, tremendous ladies in the industry. And it's such an inspiration for me to be able to come along tonight and, share on this roundtable. When I worked with them, they're incredible ladies. They're phenomenal on set and off set, and they're just personalities. They're infectious. You're just happy people to be around. So I really admire both of them. And now I admire you ladies, and I'm so thankful to be here.
You know what it reminds me of? You know how in the years past, women have not been supporting each other. They've been in competition with one another. But it's so nice to see now that it's starting to take off, where, let's be a sisterhood, let's
Absolutely.
be a real sisterhood, and just, just support each other, make each other better instead of fighting one another.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes, and not everybody is perfect at everything. And it's okay to say, I need help. I need, would love for you to join in with this and be a part of this, because that's what makes up a great collaborative team, is that everybody joins in on the process. That's what the beauty about life is that you're making memories and you're sharing, and then you're creating. They're wonderful creators, Denise and Debbie. And hearing your stories, and Margaret, you're a celebrity chef, and you're out there speaking, and likewise with you, Rachel. Everybody's a driving force, and what your career is what you make of it. Everybody's a warrior. So we have 6 warriors sitting here tonight. So I'm exceptionally proud to say that I'm a part of this. I can't wait to share this and get out there and say what a wonderful experience that this has been. You know, what you're doing, Denise, is wonderful. You're giving a voice to everybody.
Thank you.
And, you're welcome.
And you, Michele. I mean, I met you on the set of Bare Knuckle Brawler, and that's the movie that Deborah was. She's in traffic.
Yes. Oh, she was phenomenal.
Deborah
what a great actress
in this movie. You were the production manager. Let me tell you, that movie would not have gone as smoothly as it did.
Thank you.
You ran everything behind the scenes, and
I
just watched you dealing with the crew, dealing with the cast, dealing with the background extras, and you were amazing. And I looked at you and I said, that's a strong woman. And not only, you know, in your career, but with your family. You have a beautiful family. You know.
Oh, thank you so much.
Beautiful children.
I'm blessed. And it's a blessing to have produced Bare Knuckle Brawler. It was such an honor to produce. And seriously, Deborah, you really hit it out of the park. What a sensational actress you are. You really did phenomenal. Really did.
Thank you.
You're
Regina,
a great writer.
Right, Regina? You're just telling her that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to see everybody, what they do with their life. I think it's such an inspiring thing that, you know, you're a chef. I think that's such a beautiful thing that you're out there expressing your love for and your passion for food. That's such a beautiful thing to do, that you're getting out there and sharing the world with. I can't wait to try your food, by the way. Yes. I can learn a few things.
Are you all in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you are.
Yeah. I'm in Brooklyn.
Deborah's in Jersey, but that's our neighbor. So
Yeah.
Right now I'm in Manhattan.
Oh.
I may never get out.
Hey, bruh. Hey.
I guess I'll have to come to New York then, and we can have a meal together. I want some of your food. I love food. I'm a foodie, so.
Hey, it's all on me. Whatever you want, I'll make it. And I want to say hi to everyone, and thank you, Michele. And I also want to thank you again, Michele, for being the intermediary source at the moment that can actually let everyone know that we have a validation with your attention to everything that we put out on the last roundtable, everything that we shared, because it's one thing to want to know what you're going to be part of tonight and what you're going to discuss or how this roundtable was conducted, but then you have that moment when you really listen and you tune in and you become a part of the roundtable even before you became tonight. And I think that I feel that that's something that needs to be, of course, I need to thank you for that, and I need to validate you for that, because it's one thing, because as we know, even as a chef, I will create a recipe and I will put it on YouTube online, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people will see it or even give it attention, or maybe they'll just go for the basic instructions, but they won't see you try to go to whatever parts that will give you an idea of what you need to do, not what it's really what's involved in creating that dish, or rather creating this bond that you just did, because you sat here and I was quiet and I'm like, wow, she really paid attention. She really, studied us and observed everything, and I appreciate that. Thank you. And just as much, we will reciprocate the same thing with you when we watch this back. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's what it's all about. Like you said, lifting each other up,
Yeah.
I'd like to say something about that, what Regina had said about how, for so long, women have been so competitive with each other and tear each other down. And maybe this is something you've already thought of, but for me, it was kind of a light bulb moment where I heard that when women tear each other down, or even just if someone is, man or woman, jealous of someone else and therefore not cheering for them, that really at its root is a poverty mentality, because it's like you're believing that if something good is happening for someone else, that somehow is taking away something good that could have potentially happened for you. It's like lessening your odds of having success in some way, which I would think in acting especially, I would think that would be a big issue where you feel like, oh, someone else got a role, that's one less role, you know, that I can't get. I could see how that'd be so hard. And yet really that is a poverty mentality. Whereas if you're thinking in terms of there's plenty of blessings in the world, and that God has something for you, and he has something for you, and he has something for you, he has something for each one of us. And when something good happens for someone else, if you can get to a place in your heart where you're sincerely celebrating that and really truly rooting for what is good for them, then it's like this magical thing that happens where suddenly good things are happening for you too. And it's I don't know, I just think there's a temptation to feel like if something good is happening for her, then, you know, my odds of something happening are somehow lessened. But really there's enough goodness and blessing and opportunity for everyone. And so if we can move ourselves into a space of, and it can be hard, I think you have to work with yourself sometimes, you know, like be like, okay, all right, I really wanted that, but they got it, or you know, just you can feel jealous about things or whatever. I think that's natural for that to come up. But I think if we work with ourselves and are intentional about celebrating other people's successes, especially woman to woman, where that tends to be competitive, I think if we will intentionally not allow ourselves to be competitive, move into rejoicing, celebrating, affirming, it comes right back to you.
Absolutely. Completely agree. 100%. There's enough room out there for everyone. And I'll speak because of the film, because I produce. So if that role wasn't meant for you, it just wasn't meant for you. There's another role out there that was meant for you. And rejoice, like you said, and uplift that person and cheer them on, because they themselves are feeling anxious. Oh my God, I got this role. Just cheer them on and say, hey, you can do it. You're gonna be great at it. Help them out in any way, because the next time it's going to be your turn. It's just that role wasn't specific for you. You know, that goes with anything in life, and whatever fashion and whatever thing that you're doing and that you really want. So many people feel that undercut. I am going through the situation. I need to have that. Why are they having it? And they're just feeling, like you said, envious and jealous, you know. But if people break it down and just say, hey, that wasn't meant for me. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to make something else out of it. I'm going to turn lemons into lemonade. It's okay to feel, like you said, anxious and jealous, or, you know, oh my God, I want that thing so bad. But when God says, hey, it's your time, it's your time. It's okay. You're just receiving blessings. And if, you know, you help somebody out, the blessings, like you said, is going to come back to you tenfold over. And to be supportive and uplift one another is always the best option. Just turn somebody away and say, I can't help that person. That wasn't me. I don't want it. I wanted that role. What's that going to do for you? You're going to leave yourself with hatred in your heart and envious and jealous. It's only going to take that negative energy and push it into you, and you don't need that. It's all about help and positive and sharing and awareness and uplifting at the end of the day, because, you know, you are a prodigy and a legacy of what you leave behind. So how do you want to be revered? How do you want to be known for? And how do you want to be respected? To me, respect is everything. Sorry. It's everything. I want people to think of me as a good person. I never want people to think that I'm an evil person, that I can't work with people. I always want to be able to help somebody. That's like my biggest thing. I love helping people in whatever facet. If they need help with cooking, I'm doing it. Cleaning, I'm doing it. Doing production manager, I'm doing it. I'll handle 25 jobs. Doesn't mean that, oh, I wasn't designed to be doing that. You know, speak to bare knuckle brawler. I did 100 jobs, yes. But that's what, at the end of the day, when you have a product that you're left with, and you see this beautiful product, like you see Debbie on screen and Denise on screen, and you'll see what it took to be behind the closed doors and what it took to make that developed product. Just like with your cooking and with your coaching and with what you do in your life, it's what you do with it. It takes a whole village to do anything. It takes a village. It's not one person, it's everyone collaboratively picking each other up. And as long as you believe in something, it's going to be successful no matter what. And that's just my views.
You know, I wanted to touch a little bit on that. When we were talking about the food earlier, I'm sorry that I skipped right over that. It would be my pleasure for all of us to have a powwow, eat, and have a great time. And there'll be plenty of food in the future when we all get together. And I just want to say that, touching on what Michelle's saying, as a chef, which just consists of cooking and creating dishes, I have found that even in the industry and people that I work with, and even close friends, they tend to not want to contribute to the best of who I was or who I am, and they become competitive. Even great friends that I think that I thought would always be there to support me, you know, it's very rare to find a sisterhood in anything that you could specialize in or master. And I've always said, you know, I'm jack of all trades, master of none, because there's always going to be someone that's better than me, even in what I do. Maybe I made a name for myself, but I worked hard, and even to this day, with only a simple dish, just serving, whether it be serving pasta on a platter, or cold pasta salad. Okay, not, we'll get off the pasta, sorry. Or just anything, even if it's a dessert, something simple, things that we do at home that we feed our families. It can create even enemies, because I may have they'll have a client, but I'll have a client with a camera, or I'll have a, you know, I will have some sort of notoriety that they won't, but instead of asking me and finding the faith in me as a friend to say, you know, can you show me the way? Can you show me how I can do this and how I can do it with you? Or how did you begin? Can you show me? Or can I help you? Or can I become part of your contacts? Or, you know, just anything that you can approach respectfully. Even as a chef, I have found that it's very extinct, like a dinosaur, to find the right friends that would want to maybe make some money, or if not, even help me, or let's say if I'm in the Hamptons and they can join me, why not? And not want to compete, or maybe behind my back try to take an account or try to hurt me. And then when we're going home, we're driving home, they're applauding me on everything that I did that evening when they said all these things, and then my contacts are coming back to me. So, and this is only food.
And
The
that's
fact is,
hurtful. That's hurtful.
yeah, it's
Very
just
hurtful.
food. It's, I mean, what inspired, what went through your head when I was boiling the ravioli? Like, what, like, you know, what made you want to do that? You know, it's just food. And it's not, I mean, I say it's only food, but of course, it's the dynamics of what we're surrounded by, the attention of the people. You know, it, with this pandemic, I spent more time giving away food than selling it, or even cooking for clients, or even contracts are frozen. And I found so much humanity out there with people that just can help you understand what like a like if I'm trying to, I'm translating it in my head, because I someone said it to me in Spanish, but it's like converting a need into my new soul of who I need to be, where it humbled me. And while I thought that I was giving and I was generous, that wasn't even the case. I've seen people, I delivered blueberries the other day, just blueberries. And this lady was crying. She just started crying. They delivered, I found some way to have 80 boxes of food, a pantry boxes delivered to my personal residence. And I said, you know what, let me bless the building. And there was an old lady, I live here 15 years, and I kid you not, I never met her. I don't know what she looks like. I'm on the 6th floor, she's on the 1st floor. And when she opened the door, I finally got to meet her. She just started crying and crying and crying over boxes. I felt so compelled that I gave her a whole bunch of boxes, and then I had to worry. I had to come back down. Let me break open these boxes. Maybe she can't do that. Maybe, you know, can I help her open the cans? You know, and just little things that you think that you can reach people just with food or a career. People will just respect it for what it is. It really depends on who is around you, who they expose you to. And the one thing that in this group that I've learned is that don't be ashamed to say that God needs to be there.
Mhm.
God always has to be there in every step, and like I said, I am not a practicing Christian, but I will always be Christian. And that's something that we as a community of women need to do. We need to embrace that faith. We need to embrace building ourselves, building all of us in what we do. In the industry that I work in, oh my God, I have tons of people that have taken my name and probably even tried to destroy it. And all I did is stood quiet and allowed them to do what they wanted to do.
Mhm.
And that's it. It's not me, it's you. And I am now it's all of us. Whether it be 6 of us now, or the 6 that will connect to 12 or to 15. There will always be 2 crabs in a basket. But what can we do? We can do nothing but just be patient with everyone's interior motives.
And I found too that to add to that, Margie, is that having a generous spirit. Like Rachel was talking about how it's a poverty spirit. I've always looked at it the same way, just different terminology, a scarcity spirit. It's a scarcity mindset. And that's, how that comes from their upbringing, their lifestyle. They've been grabbing at things, and so what we need to do is we need to do the opposite. We need to have a generous mindset. I know in my field, everybody's coming out of the woodwork now that they're all coaches. They read a book and now they're a coach, and so it's like people come to me and they ask me for help and I give it. I don't look at them and say, well, you're going to take more from me. I give them the information, the school where I went, I tell them everything, that they want to know. And it makes me feel good because I'm not operating out of a scarcity or poverty mindset, and I know that I'm helping others to, like they could stand on my shoulders, because I've stood on other people's shoulders. There's been people that, in my life that have helped me and they've been very generous to help me to get to where I am. And I know, in this world, what we give out is what's going to come back. So I don't keep my eyes on the haters and I don't keep my eyes on the ones that would try to surpass me. I'm like, you do your thing and I'll stay in my lane. And I just keep moving forward and believing that, okay, there might be haters here, but what I put out is what's going to come back to me. So if I'm putting out the generosity, then God's going to open up the doors that I need to be opened. And that keeps me at peace. It keeps me at a place where I don't feel like I have to compete and I don't feel like I can't share information. That's been very helpful for me all through the years that I've been doing this. And I found it to be true. I give out and then, it comes from someplace I didn't even expect, somebody will give me. And then I'm like, oh, wow. You see how it comes back?
Now, where do you think this comes from? That when, even as children, we get jealous when we see another child with a toy that we want. Like,
yeah.
Do you think everybody has this trait? Just a matter of, overcoming that and wanting to see other people do well too? Or do you think some people have this trait and others are just normally, happy for everybody? And I mean, what do you think about that?
Personally, if I could just speak for a second, I believe after encountering someone a male who has insane levels of toxic jealousy, and he was almost like a case study in how this happens. His mother abandoned him pretty much most of his life. She was a single parent, and she would stick him with relatives or then boarding school, whatever. And so everything for him is about, and the way she compensated was by giving him things. And so he saw things as love. So then if he sees things or experiences that he cannot have that are outside of him, he sees that as love that is being withheld from him. I think ultimately everything is about love and how we perceive it as being given to us or withheld from us. And I think that's what jealousy is, because we misinterpret an object as some sort of symbol of love, whether it's self-love or something given to us from the universe or from another. And when we feel that disconnection of, oh, well, that person got that, they must be loved more. And I want that kind of love. And it's this very primal kind of infantile longing that we are trying to fill. And I think that's what I mean, literally, this guy has been the perfect example of this thing. And it's textbook. I won't use the words right now since this is going to end up on YouTube. But yeah, it's really fascinating, and I think it is all just about like our belief system around what we deserve and what we perceive as lack, and how that is attached to love. From all I've seen, what do you guys think? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you haven't experienced love, then you're always looking for it. And you'll look for it in all kinds of, even in addictions and, something to quell that, it's like a gimme, nothing ever satisfies. So you're always looking for it. But if you've been loved and, you have been, you have a healthy emotional ego, then it's a whole different story, because then you're okay. You're coming from a place that's okay.
It's hard for some people because the greatest thing is to love and then to be loved and then to show love. And I'll speak on what you were saying, Debbie, that if somebody's yearning for that, their perception of love is in a different light. Some people will find that you're buying their love, like you were saying about, let me buy you this, it's going to show you love. But in all actuality, the materialistic things does not show love. It's the love that comes from within that you're yearning for. You want that real, true, inner somebody to get to know you and really say, hey, let's spend time together. Get to know me as a person. Let's get to know what your likes and dislikes are, and let's have an upbringing, because that's what's important. Because materialistics anybody could have, that doesn't prove love in my professional opinion. That's, somebody who's abandoned is always in seeking of love and yearning for stability. Somebody wants to know that they belong. And when you're abandoned early on, it's something hard to overcome, because you're always looking like, oh my God, that person's going to leave me. They don't love me. Let me buy them this. It's, oh my God, I have to have this. They're going to love me even more if I give them this. And at the end of the day, they're just not knowing how to place the love that they're so desperately seeking to and yearning for. They feel that that's what they were taught. It's learned behavior is what you learn early on. So for somebody who was abandoned, you can overcome that and you can displace it in a different way. This way you don't have to show that to your next one, your loved one. Your love in so many different things. It doesn't have to be like what Deborah was saying about showing love in that way. And I feel bad for somebody who has been abandoned, because they're left with a hole in their heart and they feel like they're worthless. A lot of people, and they don't feel like they matter, and they feel like their voices are never heard and that they're invisible. And that's a hard thing to overcome when you're learning that early on as a child. And I commend and applaud anybody who overcomes that. I commend anybody who's dealing with somebody and trying to show them the way that they are loved, because it's hard on the opposite party who you really may love that person, and it's a continuous battle. Like, hey, sweetie, it's okay. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not leaving you. You just have the belief that it's okay. You're grounded. It's good. We're settled. We're stable. Stability is like everything. And, that's like a crucial thing in life. It's hard. It's hard for somebody to feel like they're stuck and they don't belong somewhere, but they have to dig deep within themselves. And like you said, overcome this and go to therapy and, to show that it's okay to stand alone. And those are your battle scars, but it's what you can do from it and show the love that is needed, that you want to show somebody else. it's important. I appreciate you saying that, Deborah, because that's such a serious topic, abandonment, and it's a lonely feeling, and it's a lonely feeling. Thank you for sharing that.
If I may, within that perspective of abandonment that we were discussing at this moment, I mean, or we were listening to Michele and Deborah discuss. Deborah discussed it. You know, she brought it up, and then you reiterated everything she was saying. I can't help but, you know, anyone that has that connection will connect. And I, from the last roundtable, and also a post discussion with Denise, I've always told her that, you know, I don't really talk about anything. You know, I'll summarize, but I really don't get into it. You know, but however, the point I'm trying to make is that hearing you, Michele, reiterate what Deborah was saying about abandonment. Touching back on the last roundtable, I was a recipient of abandonment, which my mother left me at 11, and I basically had to survive all on my own. And with that time of trying to survive and become, I mean, just to become the person I am today, to sit before you and to be sane and to be in one piece, and to be at peace spiritually, and to know, sorry, I'm trying to block that light, and to know that I can try to dig within that personal and spiritual inventory that I have to keep straight and balanced around everyone and anyone that's in my face when I'm working, or in my social life, or with my friends. You know, the poker face. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make things easier. When I was going through that, when I was abandoned as a young child, I knew what it was not to eat. I knew what it was not to have somewhere to sleep, and to go from home to home, staying from home to home to home, until I became, like the last roundtable, a contracted housekeeper at a very young age. And when I had children, they themselves rebelled, and then they left one by one. One by one, they left. They rebelled, and at the right age, they left, but they left. And that sense of abandonment was like, I felt that I was discarded as a child, and then my children discarded me. And I stood there, not understanding what I was doing wrong, and why I was picked to be put in that position and to have to work through that. I didn't understand that, because I was a good child, I was a good student, I was a good daughter, I was good everything, and that was my theory. I was good, so I don't deserve that. No, or basically, my attitude was, why was I chosen? I was chosen because I had to learn through those things and help other people and be there, and to be able to open my door when my children are standing there, adults, and where they say, I'm sorry, Mom. And I say, okay, no problem. That's it. Just walk in. We're so proud of who you are and what you've done. But while everybody's proud of what I've done and who I am, I was alone, and I was stuck in this little personal cell inside of me, where I was just stuck there, because I didn't understand how I could be this person, but I have no one to go home to. I have no one that I could pick up the phone to, and then you self-isolate. So abandonment, excuse me again, I'm sorry. Abandonment is something that will stay with you, and it will affect a lot of things. Excuse me again. And you do not want to hurt other people, or be part of some sort of transference where it will hurt your life. But then, yeah, who is your partner in life? Who's the man you pick? Mm-hmm. Who are the friends you pick? People that need you. Because abandonment also, it will nourish you into this caretaker, because you will step into the role of the person that you've always wanted and needed. And that's why you tolerate the man that you have, or the friend that you have that you know that she's using you, or the people, or the fact that you sit in your salon seat and you don't like this hairstyle and you don't want them to fix your hair that way, but you're afraid to speak up. And then when you go home, you beat yourself up about why I got to walk around looking like this. It's just a matter of not pushing people away that fear because you're alone. So I'm sorry that I kind of rambled a little bit, or it went into a mini rant, but I just want to say that I want to address that abandonment because I, as a person, was a recipient to that, and it brought a lot of wrong people around me. I wanted to take care of all the people that needed help, but when there's only so many people I can help, right? Especially if I'm not helping myself. It would just boomerang right back and smack me in the face, and I would not even focus on the things I needed to do or needed to do for myself. Who cares what celebrity I'm cooking for or where I'm going to appear? The fact is that I'm not happy in that relationship. I don't want to be with that man, or I do not like the things that are in my life, but I settle because it's company, and it all attaches to the abandonment of being, abandoned. Yeah, it's all attached to that. So I'll conclude here to say that if you are, or anyone that's watching us, a recipient of abandonment, speak about it, talk about it, and let people know what you need, not what you need to do for everyone else, what you need. Because the people that are around you, if they cannot give you that, then you're going to continue to need.
You have to continue to keep nurturing your soul. Yeah. You understand? It's very important to know that you're worth everything. You're worth everything to yourself. You're worth everything to your family. Your children, they love you, they idolize you, and they take the strength from you. And that's how they continue to keep moving forward. You are a wonderful, wonderful woman. And so you ever need any, thank you. And if you ever need, my phone is open to everybody. If there's anything I could ever do, if you need a call, just to talk, scream, yell, or cry, I'm there. I'm that person. You could do whatever. I never ever want to ever make you feel like you're alone in anything, because you have a whole circle of friends.
That's right.
You matter to everyone. And
you all matter to me. Thank you. Thank you. You all matter to me.
I appreciate
you're welcome. You're welcome. You all matter to me. I'm sorry. I always try to stay strong.
You are strong, but it's sometimes it's debilitating. Sometimes when you're so strong, and sometimes where you feel like you have to be strong because of what you went through in your life. But you have to say to yourself, because I was on the abusive end, I've been through so many kinds of abuses. It's just because I went through that doesn't make me be a different person in life. It's just the battle scars I went through to make me the strong individual that I am today, that I'm able to get out there and help others. You understand? So that's what you went through, and that's why you are the strong woman you are today, because of what you went through. So therefore you're able to share that with your children and make them strong individuals themselves. Because without you, who knows what they would have been like without a strong mother like you.
Well, I think I kind of repelled them because I was too strong, and what a lot of there's actually for mothers out there that are feeling guilty if they don't have a great relationship with their children, there's this thing called paranoid parenting. Paranoid parenting is something that does exist. When you go through trials and you go through a lot of problems in life, or per se the things I went through, it will make you so paranoid that those things can happen to your own offsprings, that you guard them with your life, you coddle them so much, you try to protect them, even if you have to even be strong. And I come from my Hispanic background. We mean business when we discipline our children, but that was old-fashioned ways of doing things. Now it's more sensible. You have, like, my grandchildren, I'd never want my grandchildren to go through what my kids went through when I was disciplining them, and I thought that was the right way. What I did was that why would I try to defend my children with the public and then go home and break them and discipline them in a way that I would never want anyone else, a stranger, to. That gives me the right because I'm a parent. No, I my children were hurt and they were broken in certain areas because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to protect them, and I wanted to maybe be that strong mom, and I kind of, they feared me, but then they resented me. But they didn't fear me like they couldn't have a relationship with me. They just knew I was a very strong, strict mother, that I meant business. I don't want you on drugs. I don't want you cutting school, shorts under your dress, Chelsea. Very, very strong with everything. And in the process, I have a son, an older son, and I haven't seen him in 10 years. Within the 5 years that he, going back 5 years, we had an argument, a fight. I wanted him to come clean about his lifestyle, and I wanted him to tell me if indeed his lifestyle was what I suspected, which I have no objections of. And he got very nasty, and then we got into a domestic issue. He left, and 5 years, I followed him a little bit, and then 5 years to the time, I was stopped in the middle of not in the middle of the street, but in an area where it was a public party outside, and I went through the mourning process with my son, like, you know, I'm missing him, and somebody expressed their condolences to me regarding my son, and they, you know, they did that, and I, you know, they were crazy to me. That was crazy. That couldn't be. And I'm a civil mediation officer by trade, and when I did background checks on him, when we talk about abandonment, I felt that I abandoned my son by not understanding and fighting with him through things that we could have spoken about. And then after that, it's been 10 years, and now my son Peter is considered a doe, you know, a J doe, and then more with COVID-19. So I live with that every day, and I want everyone to know that whatever we're going through as young people, as adolescents, as parents, as adults, as everything, whether it be abandonment, abuse, rejection, everything that all the women went through, that have gone through in this circle, there's so much harder things that we have to swallow and deal with. And, you know, we always have the strength to make it through that. So thank you, Michele, for saying that I'm strong and being there and wanting to offer support and friendship. It's all reciprocated all around from me too. And I want to share my Peter with everyone, because that he symbolizes what I think is, which is, he's right here. This is my son. I don't know if you can see him. He's right there. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's my son. That's my Petey. And I had that issue with abandonment too. I abandoned my son when he needed me, but no, I didn't.
So good that you share that, because as moms, I think that we are really hard on ourselves, and I don't know any woman who's kind of half-assing it through parenthood. Like, we want to be good moms. Like that, there's no job I've ever wanted to be better at than a mom, you know, as a mom. And we're so painfully aware of how we fail, and then we're ashamed and don't want to share it. And yet then that just like has this kind of facade perception that, oh, she's such a good mom. She's got it all together. I'm the one that's screwed up and failing in this way or that way. And the truth is, we're all doing the best we can. We have some successes, we have some failures. And I don't know, I appreciate you being honest and vulnerable about that, because it's hard. It's hard to admit, like,
very hard.
Hey, I feel like I failed in this way or whatever. And I think we're also overly hard on ourselves. And a lot of what we feel is probably not totally accurate. At least, I don't know. I think I am pretty hard on myself when it comes to parenting. I'm always reliving how I could have handled that better, you know? So it's hard. It's hard to be a mom. And I think that most moms are doing the best they can. Most parents probably, even when they really suck. I really think for the most part, most people are doing the best they can as a parent. So, and it's good when we share our failures, because then we don't feel like such a failure. It gives other people permission to be okay and comfortable in their own skin, knowing that you know, we're all screwing up to some extent, you know?
You know what? I claim what I'm screwed up with. I claim it. I own it. I pray on it, and I'm the most beautiful screwed up person there is to offer everyone. And I have no shame in having everyone unravel me and get to know who I am. And yes, I eat my food sometimes without silverware, and I will be a normal person. You know, I'm just a normal person.
You're
Just a
living.
normal person. I'm living. Yes,
You're
I'm
living.
living. I'm living.
And you have cute earrings. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's courtesy of Facebook. I have all these followers that sell jewelry on my Facebook. Thank you.
I think of being a mom is, you know, it's a very hard thing to do. My daughter, from when she was a child, she was diagnosed with stage 4 germ cell cancer, and I nearly lost her. Thank God she's 26. I'm blessed that she's okay. She's a survivor. So when she was 3 years old, you know, she was my first child, and I just, like, you know, smothered her so much. And, you know, sometimes that hurts the child because I was so overbearing, in a good way, to bad way. I just didn't let her flourish. I mean, you know, so I understand what you feel, like you're saying, hey, you're beating yourself up. She'll say to me now, like, Mom, why do you always have to do things for me? I need to be my own person. Just because I had cancer doesn't mean that I'm going anywhere. Mom, I'm okay. You know, you live in the fear of, you know, I almost lost her. And, you know, just to know that I wanted to smother her and show her so much love and do everything I can for her, it's because I almost lost her, you know, in that way. And I have 3 beautiful children, and I think in some way, because I need to show them how much I love them, I just feel like that I become overbearing at times in showing that. And, you know, I want to do anything I can for them, but sometimes that's hindering and not letting them do what they can for themselves, because they themselves have to grow up and be their own individual, make mistakes, fall, get bruises, cuts, hurt, just move forward, and to become their own independent human. You know, I'm blessed. She's 26. She's an occupational therapist. She worked during COVID in the hospital. My son, he's an architect, and he's going to, you know, University of Buffalo. And then I have a 16-year-old who's, you know, going to be graduating from high school soon. You know, just as you beat yourself up, like you're saying, you know, should I have done something differently? You know, you like, oh, I could have not, you know, smothered or done so much for them, or, you know, I can be a pain in the ass. Oh, sorry, I'm cursing here, but, you know, it's okay. They love you. And deep down, that to me is everything, is that they know that they're loved. And to everybody that's sitting on this round table that has children, they know that you love them. You know, you're all wonderful, wonderful people. And, you know, it speaks to you as a person to know that you can say, hey, I did this wrong. I'm learning from it. Learn from it and grow from it, because, you know, it's what they perceive us as, and saying, hey, we can learn and change and grow. It's okay if we make mistakes. Who cares? Better luck next time. It's okay. You know, I think that's an important thing to always know, that it's okay to make mistakes. It's what you make of it and how you move forward from it. Thank you for sharing your story to both of you. Seriously,
I'm so
you know.
sorry for the loss and disconnect there. It's so painful.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah. Just we must love and continue to love what's in front of us. And just continue to love what's in front of us. And it's not the individuals that are in front of us, but this individual, the person you're seeing, not me, of course, you, everyone, what you see in the mirror, just love that, and things will, I mean, it will all come together. It will all come together. I just brought all the stuff that I had as a child into my parenting. And I thought it would happen to them, or even if I didn't think it was going to happen to them, I was not flexible at all. And when you're not flexible with teenagers, they will find a fluctuation somewhere. They will find it on their own. And they did, and they stood up to me, and they did. And if Peter will walk through that door one day, I have faith that he will.
He will.
He will. And every day I wake up, Well, right now I'm not cooking, but every day I cook for the community, but I will wake up and I will cook and I will take care of everything and I will make him proud and I will make him understand that it's not, I don't want to make this about me with the round table, but that just for anyone that can relate to these stories or even my own, that a loss or even a potential loss can be right in front of you. It could be right in front of you with the wrong words, with the wrong actions, with the wrong decisions, even meeting the wrong friend or the wrong partner. You could lose time, you could lose effort, you could lose everything. And why I say that? Because if I can get all the time back when I was in front of Peter, I would have changed everything. I would have done things differently. Maybe I wouldn't even be the chef I am today, but who knows? But every moment counts. So we need to pray, keep God in center of everything.
People should know that they are enough and they should do whatever it takes to find happiness. You know, it's true points, and you're a beautiful mom. You really are. And I'm going to really hold you in my prayers and for your son to return home. And you just continue to hope and pray and have faith, because that's what's really important, is that you continue. You're a beautiful person. You really are. And
Michelle, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And thank all of you for taking up the time to listen. I mean, you know, I'm sorry if I took up too much time.
No,
not at all.
Don't be sorry. We appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
I have a story that you guys are gonna love.
There we go, Deborah.
We'll bring a little bit more powerful chick spice into this.
Okay,
empower you all. Because I know all of you would probably do exactly what I did. I was dealing with this actor dude. He thinks he's an actor, at least. Anyway, long story short, we've become kind of friends, whatever. And the other day, we were at this place, and he was getting really drunk, and he thought I was trying to challenge him in something. And I would not engage in the anger. And this is the person that has the abandonment issues. And he's constantly trying, these people many times, males seem to respond to abandonment different than females do. And so the way males tend to do it, they try to prove that everybody will abandon them. Where I think women try to compensate by becoming massive caretakers so that nobody will abandon them. So it's a really interesting difference. I don't know if it's the testosterone, the estrogen, what, cultural, I don't know. So anyway, I was trying to just diffuse the situation with this guy who was freaking out, and I was trying to calm him down and tell him everything's going to be okay with the project. And I said, you know, it's all okay. You don't have to freak out. Everyone is here. Everything is good. And he got tweaked, and he wanted me to join him in his misery. And because I wouldn't, he said, oh, and so, of course, you're okay. You're not affected by anything because you're happy Debbie. Everything is happy for Debbie. Everything is positive. Nothing can hurt you, and you don't need anyone. And I just looked at him and I laughed. And then I got a text from my daughter, a picture of my dog. And I tried to say to him, like, oh, this is so cute. Like, my daughter just sent me a picture of the dog. You want to see it? And he's like, oh, you're going to show me a picture of your dog? Your dog, always your dogs and your kids, your dogs and your kids. It's like everything with Happy Debbie is about her dogs and her kids. And I stood up and I said, actually, yeah, everything is about my dogs and my kids, and I am happy, and I'm good with that. And I walked away. I just walked away, and I left him to just spin out on his own, because I thought, you know, one of the keys in our lives is to not engage. Like, when we see somebody spinning out and like falling into the black hole of freaking insanity, wait, it's like scrumpling. What we need to do is just cut that shit and say, you know, no, this is the boundary. This is the line. You don't cross it. These are my kids. This is my family. This is my life. This is how I respond. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off. Basically. And that's it. Haha. All right. I'm gonna go smile and be happy over here. Bye.
It's good.
And either they come around or they don't.
Good for you.
What?
Yeah, good for you.
What did you say? Oh,
Applauding you.
but good for all of us.
Exactly.
That's how we have to respond to that kind of, there's going to be people, all of us in this panel, we've all had shit in our lives. We've all had tons of garbage and crap, and we've overcome because we know how to stay positive. We know how to pivot. Some other shit comes up and, it's like, okay, well, I can't let this suck me down into the vortex where I'm going to lay in my bed in depression for 3 years. No. I need to get my shit together so that I can be the best I can be within my life and for my kids, my animals, my whatever, my friends. And it's just it's a fascinating thing. Every single one of you are all the same. Like, we've all done this thing where we keep, getting knocked down and we brush ourselves off and we get back up and we go right back at it. And every time that we get kicked down or abandoned or misunderstood, we end up just way stronger than we ever were before. And I think there are a lot of people that cannot comprehend how that can possibly work, but it does for us wacko, spicy warrior women, right?
We are warriors for sure. It's what you make of that, you can't let somebody define you in that moment. They want you to feel their negative behavior, their negative energy. So exactly, Debbie, 100%. I'm like, all right, you handle what you have to handle. I'll see you later.
Right. Regina, did you cover somebody like that in your book?
Excuse me?
Did you cover somebody like that in your dating book?
Yes. Yes. Know yourself, know who you want to be around. Yep.
Yes.
The book Boundaries is really good for people who feel like they struggle with boundaries, or feel like people are always walking all over you or whatever. Boundaries. That's the name of the book, Boundaries.
Yeah. That's a beautiful name.
Sounds good.
I love that. To know the boundaries, it's important that you get out there and express to somebody, hey, this is my boundaries and please do not cross this. Mm-hmm. But the minute that they do try to cross it, you have to really be firm within yourself and say, hey, you have to back up a little bit. You have to respect our boundaries and our space. And this might not be what you want, but it is what I need. So if you care about
the next level, choosing to not feel guilty for having a boundary.
Right.
You can't feel guilty. You have to set boundaries because otherwise we're going to be in this melting pot of, negativity and behaviors and this and that and I'm having a family, please. No, because how are we going to march forward in life? Yep. Are we just going to wallow and sit in our bedroom and cry? What is that going to do for us? That's not going to, get out there and make a successful career. That's not going to get out there and pay your bills. It's not going to get out there and show your children or, with your peers. That's not what you want to do. I don't care what sentence, so to say, that you're dealt with. There's always, you can get through it. If my daughter can get through stage 4 cancer, when a doctor told me, I'm sorry, but she's going to die. There's nothing we could do for her. I refuse to believe that was what the end all be all for my kid. I refuse. I went out there with doctors and talked and this and that, and I found a cure. Thank God with, St. Jude and Dr. Lipton. I refuse to give in to that fear that I can just succumb to that. That's absolutely not enough. Certain things that you have to just get up and do, and you have to believe in yourself. If you have a power of belief within you, you can do anything. Anything you put your mind to, why not? I could be, on Mars. Who cares? Why not? Are you going to make fun of me because I want to be on Mars? Who cares? If you're happy within yourself or you want to be, whatever you want to be, yeah, do it. As long as you're doing a productive thing and you're living a healthy lifestyle and positive and you're not doing bad things, why not be all that you can be? You are enough. Do whatever it takes.
Remember, with the word cancer, the first 3 letters are can, and the rest of it is conquer every road.
Oh, I love that.
And that's exactly what your daughter did. She will continue to, because cancer, I'm a survivor myself, and cancer is something that you can consider us like addicts, if I may. I hate the analogy, but I have to use that to say that every day is a counting day, that you count that day that you beat it. and
Absolutely. Love that analogy.
Yep.
Love that analogy.
And conquer every road.
Conquer every road. Tomorrow is never promised.
Right.
But make today count. Make today count. Don't waste another second on things that you just don't feel are as important. And it's okay to tell somebody, listen, I used to be friends with you. This is not working for me. Let's take a little bit of a break and let's step back out and revisit this in another few weeks or so. I just need space for the moment. And it's okay to say that. It's setting boundaries. Like Rachel said, you need boundaries. If it's going to make you happy deep within yourself, then it's okay to do it. And if they care about you, they'll respect it. And that's the real truth. Take the time that you need to heal yourself, to, grow as a person, because, not everybody can do everything just like this and do everything everybody's asking. Your voice matters. Put your 2 cents in and say, hey, this is what I need. And if you can't respect that, then I have to back out and, revisit you in a month or so. And let them learn that lesson. Say, hey, your friend Debbie's, I'm sure they probably went home and thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why wasn't she engaging in that negative behavior? But it's good that you did that and you walked away, because that person's thinking about that. Because, you taught that person a lesson.
That's right.
I don't taught a lesson to the guy, trust me. No, I'm not going to expect that much. It's fine. Just move on. Move on. You know what I mean?
Agreed. You can't fix every situation.
No.
I told her, write the screenplay about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a doozy. Woo-hoo.
Deb is like the black coffee of the group. She wakes everybody up. Like she is.
Thank you. I love that. I want to get a t-shirt that says I'm the black group.
Yes, you are. You're perky. You perk us up, and I was just like focused on what you were saying, and then when you ended the way you ended, I was like, okay, that's Deb.
Great points.
Awesome.
You definitely shake up a lot of people, which is a great thing, because you're not afraid to speak and tell people how you're feeling, and you're not afraid to show somebody that it's okay to not be okay. You're like, hey, you're not doing something really right here, so I need to back up and leave. So it's good that you stand up for yourself, because you're just showing us that how we should be, everybody is, but how we should be as individuals and women, and be empowered, and to just walk away. You're secure within yourself, Deb.
Right.
You're a very, very strong woman. I said that back then, I'll say it now. And I appreciate that.
I feel strong, but a lot of it, like I'll make a decision in the moment, and it literally is my soul and my guardian angels telling me, cut and run, because this is bullshit. And the Debbie me, the little Debbie me, is like, no, don't go. You have to make them like you. And meanwhile, the warrior soul spirit is like, fuck that, cut it and burn.
You're not afraid.
Blow it up. So I listen to her, because she like keeps me strong and keeps me growing my edges, because literally I really am just this little kid that wants to play pretend and wants everybody to get along, and that's just not reality. So the warrior part has to step in and guide me. Right. And I just have to listen to her, or I've gotten myself into trouble. I end up in bad situations with bad relationships, bad business partnerships, whether it's with males or females or anything. I've got to always learn, when an instinct comes to say, this is it, then it's time just to, put my foot down and run. Did you ever see that? That's it's one of my favorite videos by Katy Perry. The one where she encounters her younger self, and it's all about how falling from cloud 9. You know that song? I got to share it with you guys in the group. And it's this incredible video where, like, all the illusions that she had were shattered once, like, she opened her eyes. And what ends up saving her is her younger self. Her childhood self meets her inside this music video and shares with her the key to herself. and then she's all good. And I think, you know, that's really all that we're doing in life. We're trying to find the way to kind of come to terms with all the things that I mean, you guys have talked about it already throughout this whole thing. We're coming to terms with whatever it was that we felt we were lacking as children, and we're giving them to ourselves now as grown-ups, and just trying to find our way.
Trust your instincts, your
Find the way.
intuition.
There's no other way, right?
Mm-hmm. And the great thing is too, Debbie, is that you're modeling self-care. You know, because most women feel like it's selfish to take care of yourself. You know, we've been so taught that you have to come last, you know, and I don't think we have to come first, but we have to come in the lineup, you know, we get taken care of too. So,
Absolutely.
So I applaud you for that, because, you know, you took care of yourself, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, you modeled it for others. I'm sure you've modeled it for your daughter, you know, and anyone that listens to this roundtable will see, you know, how you've modeled that. Because you could have shrunk yourself. You know, you could have said, oh, well, no, my life really isn't that happy. I have this problem and that problem. You chose not to. You chose to rise above it, accept the fact that you are happy, you know, and it's unfortunate he's not, but you're not going to let him pull you there.
Right.
Yeah, the things that do make me happy are it's my inner strength, my kids, and my animals. That's it. And I'm totally good with it. And I'm gonna go and shout it from a mountain. And if somebody's offended by it, then they don't really need to be part of my life. They don't need to listen to that. They don't have to look at the pictures of my dogs if it's annoying, you know?
It's not annoying, and I feel the same exact way as you. And I feel like my family is my everything, and they're my driving force. It's why I wake up every day and I'm happy, get out there, and if I could do whatever I can for them and for others, I don't need it much. I'm a minimalist, and when it comes to that, I don't really require or desire. I just want to get out there and just be happy. I don't really say, hey, I need to buy this or do this or whatever. I just need to have my little family life, like you said, Debbie. That is what matters. They are what matter to me, you know, because they're my everything. And without them, I would feel like I'm nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't share that with them. You know, it's important.
Absolutely.
It's important, and I'm grateful, blessed, and thankful for everything that I've been given in my life with my children, because just to see them flourish is important, and to know that my daughter was spared. My son was hit with a touch of autism when he was young. To see the adversities and what they've gone through and how they've overcome, it's such tremendous strength. They think that I'm strong. No, I think they're strong, because I find the strength within them, and that's what drives me. Because without them, I am nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just how I feel. They're my world. You know, my family five, that's what I always say, my husband and my 3 kids. And with that, especially during the pandemic, I was thankful that I was able to spend that quality time with them and get to know them even more. I probably annoyed them a lot, which I'm sure I did. But it's to laugh and make little cute videos with them and be goofy and be silly. You don't have to be picture perfect. Put your hair up in a bun, have a glass of wine, have a cup of coffee. Who cares? Be silly, be happy. As long as you're here and do whatever it is that makes you happy, that's what matters. And whatever it is that makes happiness for each individual here today, you know? Sorry.
Speaking of family, I need to go make my family dinner. Other boys in the other room. I'm just
That's right. You're 3 hours behind us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I want to thank everybody
Wow.
for sharing your hearts with each of us and with the viewers. And I think it's important that we see ourselves the way God sees us. And if we could look at ourselves, how God sees us and how much he loves us. I think that's so important. And just real quick, Margie, about that abandonment. I was abandoned. At the age of 2, one of my parents, one said the other did it and vice versa, but they beat me so bad that I ended up in the hospital for 3 months at the age of 2. They actually said on the way to the hospital, my heart stopped. So At the age of 2, I died. So by the grace of God, they revived me and I'm here. But just all the struggles, but I always sensed that God loved me through it all, you know, and I can see myself through his eyes. And I want you to see yourself through his eyes because he loves you so much. Okay?
I do, and I love you, and he loved you, and there's always a force, a protection, a security there to protect us. We just need to find it. We need to identify it. You know, it's sometimes when you really look at these movies that they have on TV, or it's just any movie that comes out, they will have like little hidden messages. Even the, what is it, Black Panther, that with the gentleman that just died, Chadwick, that was a very religious movie. I mean, if you could really really focus on this movie, it was a very religious movie. Even from the times that, you know, when he was in the water, he had to find faith to be able to fight and do all the stuff that he was able to conquer at that moment. However, I don't want to divert to another point, but I just want to say that I love you. You're my sister in Christ, and you're my sister in this round table. And you did not pass away because you had to be here so that we can know how much of a blessing you are and how much we love you. Because when I went through COVID-19 and I was gone and you knew I was, who was there praying for me? You. So I was the 2-year-old that you helped with COVID-19, so to speak.
You're gonna make me cry.
It's okay. I love you. I love you, and I will love you through bad, good, and every way, because you know, you're supposed to be packaged in love, and that's the way it has to be.
Amen.
So,
Thank you.
meant to be here for a reason.
Yeah.
We're all reasons. We're all reasons.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're all reasons. We're all corrections and training, like I said in the last video.
That's right.
Thank you for having me today, Denise.
so
I
much,
truly
Michele.
appreciate it. I'm
We
so
appreciate
grateful.
you joining us and sharing with us, and yeah, you're a blessing to us. Thank you.
Likewise to all of you, and I appreciate it. I had an amazing time chatting away with you ladies, and you have given me such strength and inspiration, and I'm going to cherish each and every minute of this, and I can't wait to like watch this and share this. You know, keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing makes a difference, Denise. Keep doing what you're doing.
You're a bright light.
Michele, please don't forget to send us the link to your.
No, I will.
Yes.
I definitely will. I'll send it in the chat room, okay?
Great.
Yeah, and if you guys could just share your information, not your phone number, Rachel, with our viewers. So if they want to follow you on social media, Regina, we'll start with you.
You can follow me at Regina Stafford on Facebook, Regina Staff on Instagram. My website is rewardscoaching.com. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, Michele.
Michele Frantzeskos on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, YouTube. Go ahead, follow me anywhere. Pretty accessible to anywhere. Anybody needs help, let me know.
Thank you. Rachel?
Be careful what you ask for.
No, I don't mind. Bring it. Bring it. I like it.
Don't give out your email address.
Yeah, I received so many. Yeah. I mostly am on just Instagram, the Rachel Hamm, and it's RACHEL and then HAMM, and then rachelhamm.com. And then the Rachel Hamm channel for YouTube, which I haven't done a lot with, but I think I'm going to be doing more with it soon. So.
Okay. Very good. I can't wait for that. Margie?
Well, I am on Instagram, and I am c.chefmargie on Instagram. I am Margie's Kitchen on Facebook, and the public page is Chef Margie. And what the hell? The email to margieskitchen1@gmail.com. In the event that anyone wants to share anything personal and they need some advice, they could reach me there too. margieskitchen1@gmail.com.
Okay, I just followed you on Instagram.
And
I need to buy your book. I want to buy a copy of your book, Rachel.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Can you put the link inside the group so I can
Yes.
buy one as well? Thank you.
Yep,
Thank
I'm going
you.
to put all these links in the description too.
Oh, perfect.
And Deborah, last but not least.
Everywhere I'm Deborah Twiss, DeborahTwiss. My website is deborahtwissactress.com, and my email's even deborahTwiss212@gmail. So I'm pretty much I'm the same for everything.
Okay, just followed you too.
Oh, thank you. I'll follow back for sure.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. It's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Bye.
Have a blessed day, everyone.
You too.
Thank you. You too.
Guys,
Thank you,
for
Denise.
watching. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. You're amazing. I
Bye.
adore you all.
I'm gonna miss all of you until the next one.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Can't
gonna
wait.
have another one, so guys, stay tuned for that.